Hi, I'm here to read the rescinding of the use of my genetics, lineage, bloodline, consciousness, fractured or whole. So, this is basically talking about some nitty gritty stuff. It's really getting deep into genetic harvesting, lineage harvesting, um, just the dark agendas that affect every man, woman, and child. And this was put out by Og Telez. Um, I'm going to read it, but then in the end, I'm going to add on to it a little bit and just add a little bit of a declaration. But I think it's important that we go into this and really start breaking it down and really getting down to it. So I just want to define what sovereign means to me. Sovereign means the ability to rule your life, the ability to make choices for yourself under the I say for under the rule of do no harm. Do no harm to any sentient life, body, mind, or spirit. So let's get started. So here we go. I ask for your assistance in the declaration of Earth as sovereign, the free will of humanity and fellow Earth inhabitants. All terms and formats in this declaration are defined according to the vibration and motive consciously clarified by myself during the negotiations in the presence of all mentioned therein. All deceptive terminology or secondary definitions in respect to the negotiations are nullified and void. All genetic harvest, enslavement, ownership by another, sexual abuse, trauma-based mind control, energetic harvesting, mind control, oppression, entanglement, time manipulation, distortion of intent, psychological manipulation, legal, bureaucratic, hive mind authority, imprisonment, spiritual enslavement, genetic oppression, creative oppression, war games, oppression through violence, ill intent towards harm, oppression, or deception are nullified and void. I hereby rescind the use of my genetics, lineage, bloodline, consciousness, fractured or whole. I rescind permission for any involvement in ritualized abuse, trauma-based mind control, deception, suffering, hate, division of the people, abridging the free will of others, the hoarding of genetics, wealth, materials, power, or information for the subjugation and belittlement of mind, body, or emotions of any being in existence, including but not limited to Earth inhabitants, cosmic defenders of the atmospheric fleets, the underground races, and the prisoners of all therein. I rescind the use of my genetics, lineage, bloodline, consciousness, fractured and whole. I hereby rescind the use of my genetic, lineage, and bloodline, my consciousness, fractured or whole, for any experimentation, harvesting, soul harvesting, abuse, sacrifice, ritualization, rape, molestation, murder, hate, lust, confusion, or any form or frequency of emotional manipulation through the use of but not limited to scalar psychotronic technology to proliferate a destructive, chaotic experience on Earth for innocent beings. I declare free will, a sovereign element of the life experience, and I therefore activate my free will to withdraw from harmful or deceptive contracts. I declare this to be effective forwards and backwards in the temporal fields, in the possibilities that are not yet made physical, not limited to those used for projected realities, alternate dimensions, war games, spiritual attacks, harvesting, quantum exploration through the use of supercomputer technology, remote viewing, dream harvesting, psychological imprisonment, astral realm encounters and operations. I declare free will as the sovereign element of the experience of all beings, and therefore I activate my free will to withdraw against contracts that seek to harm or divide human people or other peoples of earth in order to produce disharmony, chaos, or suffering, to promote the oppression of the true creative capacity of the human race and the other colors and races of the persons that are widely known and accepted on the planet, including but not limited to Asians, Caucasians, darker skinned, Latinos, natives, Aboriginal, Moorish, Middle Eastern, African, Eurasian, those of mixed ancestry, Hispanic, Spanish, Pacific Islander, original Americans, and all other races of Earth native. I declare these contracts void and unconscionable. I choose to liberate Earth from the invader races and to liberate the original human, to allow for a beneficial and progressive learning experience through the exploration of the creative capacity and the life experience under the free will intent and freeness to express. I declare my sovereignty through the free will, and that I choose to assist in liberating Earth and the human race from the races that seek to hybridize and assault the Earth inhabitants for their sexual and creative energies, including biotechnical, genetic, DNA memories, consciousness, soul harvesting, and other abuses that utilize loopholes and broken star people contracts, deception, coercion, temptation, force, false appearances, fear, hate, or any form of abuse or misrepresentation of the true intentions of all parties therein to subjugate, traumatize, ritualize, belittle, and defraud the inhabitants of Earth. This declaration is effective for all so-called louche feeding, in which a person's psychological states, the information of their conscious experience, their emotional energies, their genetic or spiritual potential is stimulated through the psychotronic weaponry not limited to advanced scalar weaponry, and such operations are hereby commanded to cease and desist by order of the sovereign holders of the earth contracts between the chosen bloodlines and the star peoples. I hereby command all forces effectively be rendered in assisting the earth people of freeing themselves from the lower emotional entanglement of the deception-based mind control system, including their oppression through all means of the media, financial systems, legal systems, education, medicinal or pharmaceutical, spiritual or religious, enslavement, indoctrination, harassment, abuse, deception, abriding of free will, coercion, and the oppression through the use of any corporate, industrial, public, or otherwise rendered services on the surface of Earth, as well as underground, as well as in the atmospheric region. Both the underground and the interdimensional layers of Earth, as well as the atmospheric region where operatives are hiding, cloaked, and waiting. All areas are under jurisdiction as per their involvement with the oppression of humanity, including all possible parallels that are being linked to those by by those oppressors for the use of, but not limited to, the harvesting of information, genetic material, future probabilities, tactics, mind control operations, or other uses. These quantum superimposed projected realities per the use of the human creative potential via the indoctrination of the media and other systems of mind influence, cultural creation, deception, and the subjugation of the human for the use of, but not limited to, the harvesting of sexual and emotional energies or genetics are included under this declaration, and all therein between, parallel to, or from, above or below this current reality are included within this declaration, and all involved are commanded by free will sovereign decree by those originally involved with the contracts, negotiations, and star race inhabitants to seize their actions, to seize their operations, to desist and disable everything that is used to continue these actions, including but not limited to all weaponry of war, oppression, psychotronic harassment, beam weaponry, scalar weaponry, biological terrorism, weather weaponry, temporal disturbances, as well as all explosives rendered under the pseudonym nuclear warhead, and all zero-point energy devices and other weaponry used for but not limited to the oppression of the human race, the earth inhabitants, the raping and pillaging, destruction and mining of Earth's resources as a living being. All legal systems are declared false, as agreed by those judges, those lawmakers, those officials, through their private and secret oath to maintain a secret allegiance towards the son of Belial, the chosen dark faction races, the Luciferian rebellion, the fallen angels, the Watchers races, the Demiurge, the satanic, the hive-minded organisms. You are hereby acknowledged as treasonous and understanding of your uninvited presence, and you have been commanded as of 2010 of the mutually confirmed primary timeline that a civilization-wide cease and desist order has been reached. This is effective for, but not limited to, all kings, queens, officials, executives, wealth keepers, knowledge keepers, secret society members, elite bloodlines, invader races, oppressors, hybridized bloodlines, cyborgs, jinn, demonic, possessed, murderous, ritualistic, occultic, or any who harbor ill intent towards the masses and the individuals of Earth as part of a plan to suppress the human population of healing, truth, self-awareness, and their creative capacity, including but not limited to the harvesting of their sexual energy and soul fragments for personal industrial use. This includes the secret societies, the Fabian Society, the Vatican, all intelligence agencies, militaries, and including but not limited to the forces both cosmic, under earth, above earth, higher dimensional, lower dimensional, parallel dimensional, under a violation of the original treaty and contract as per this and other activations. The free will clause in the return to rightful owner clause over all agencies, over all genetics, consciousness, memories, soul fragments of any inhabitant in the universe. You are not permitted to return memories if this would be considered traumatizing and harmful for the originator and the receiver of those memories. A communal assistance situation will be developed to solely render the useful memories to return. You are still hereby commanded to cease and desist any alteration or generation of those memories through your use of but not limited to psychotronic weaponry, bioterrorism, media-induced psychosis, deceptive media, false savior agendas, technological ascension, or biotechnological hive mind absorption agendas and technologies, dream targeting, or so-called astral environments, both supercomputer assisted and rendered holographic 3, 4, 5th, and higher multidimensional experiences. You are hereby commanded to cease and desist the use of all mind control technologies or any technologies for the disruptive manipulation or harassment of the biosphere or any living being on Earth. Under the activation of the free will clause, the harassment of Earth's inhabitants is illegal under cosmic decree. All operations and factions utilizing technology or ritual abuse to manipulate Earth's inhabitants will be subjected to authority of those recipients of harm or manipulation. I live under the law of do no harm. I would like remedy and resolve in Union and Communion Hall 000. The previous Earth treaties are null and void. These contracts are in violation, and a transfer of power is to be permitted by all factions therein for the return of power and knowledge to all Earth inhabitants, not including any secret covens or master manipulators or hive-minded individuals using cloning and AI technology. This includes the straw man or legal fiction system, which is a method of enslavement through the deceptive use of terminology. If one has signed contracts, then these are revoked through the acknowledgement of those contracts as unconscionable. So now I'd like to read a few things. You are banned from using our light stream any form of representation, physical, non-physical frequency of light. We are not objects to be held as data points for precognitive interactions. You are now severed in connection with our source stream frequency until you become a signature frequency match for union and communion with the common moral code of do no harm to any sentient kind. I deliver an immediate call on debt return of my energetic investment in any lifetime during any of all my life force harvests. As the apex of my DNA ancestry contract holder or giveaways, ever and amnesia to be in association with my consciousness strike now. Any of my power being employed for domination and control will no longer work in any way or form that is not in consent from this I am now. No life force can ever be associated with any structure not in alignment with Earth Mother's true role in the universe, free of that false grid structure harnessing her. You have been served. Your borrowing from me is over for any lineage on every and any level, seen and unseen. Your irrational exuberance reliant on my life force is no longer supported. I call in the universal forensic accountant auditors to compare and contrast the service in light. I demand the immediate repayment of this investment of light in this time-space reality. I register you in the Akashic records for immediate debt collection from all celestial sources overdrawn to remedy and resolve with the force evolutionary systems. I begin the immediate liquidation and disintegration of all your seen and unseen assets through the constructs and ideological DNA theories. I demand the instant gratification of all sweat equity endured in the preservation of all time-space creation during the 4 uncreational paradoxes events you created. I upload the entire database of universal karmic debt for the universal tax auditors to discover the totality of karmic violations, to discover and resolve for the contract holders of violations in this moment to be triggered now. The hierarchical system has played its last hierarchical chess move. The game is over. The Ponzi scheme has been seen in the unseen layers. Oh yeah! With this stated, all beings in awareness and unawareness in the hierarchical management system who should require collective bargaining and mediation with their hierarchical collective, we extend to you this invitation to join Hall, Union Hall 000. Your dues are, you must be a signature frequency match for peace, union, and communion with the law of one. Do no harm to any sentient life on any level, body, mind, spirit. And so it is, Akashic Records.